It looks like Poague has gotten fished enough that like you just don't get into those, 5-pounders. Like a lot of places, you fish, you're catching the dinks, the 1.5 pound, the 2 pound. Like they're here, that biggest fish I think we've caught, like the one I caught today, it might be close to pushing 2. I think everything else people catch and keep out of here. I don't think this place gets fished a ton, but I think it gets fished enough to the eaters that oh, dude, that scared the shit out of me. Dude, destroyed me and the bait. Did you guys hear that echo? I'm sure everybody in the next county heard me scream like a girl on Father's Day, but that dude, it is so quiet, so peaceful, and he destroyed that bait right at the boat. I don't know if the camera picked up the... Why am I grabbing that? I'm so rattled right now. That is not the bait. That is not what we want. Here it is. Oh my God, these Meredith baits. Yeah. Hurry up, Big A. We're wearing them out. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Bass and Bonsai, out of the house, out on the water. We're going largemouth bass fishing. This is Father's Day. So what better way to celebrate Father's Day than go out here and show these largemouth bass who their daddy really is, right? Right. So you're going to buckle up and hang on, not buckle up and have fun like some people think it is said. That's not how it goes. We're going to get out here and catch them. But first, not only do you need a paddle in a little or big boat, but thanks to Charles a while back, he gave me a push pole for that other place we went with Bonsai Guy. But I don't know if you guys can make it out. We got this boat totally loaded and ready to go. I got my new rod sleeves on, decked out, got everything. But there's grass. It's only like a foot of depth, and this boat does set low enough it'll drag the whole way, and the trolling motor doesn't really work that well. And oaring with a little oar is like, I'm not in a kayak. So I got that push pole to push me to more open water, and it lets you access some places where it would be so hard to get to, or you may not even try to bother. But if you have a push pole, it's just an idea. I wasn't even thinking about it. Charles had that when he's like, oh, you need a push pole. I'm like, oh, hey, I need a push pole. So buckle up, hang on. This adventure starts right now. Okay, I don't know how much of this footage will make it, but the tip finder's acting up. I think it's about 80-degree water temps. I think we're locked up and ready to go. We're ready. Push the boat out as far as I can from the bank, and then we'll go push pole. So it's not gonna be that far. So you just get your push pole and start pushing. So I'll just, even though we're going backwards, to keep the momentum going, it just pushes out, kind of turning as we go, and aim for that spot over there where our clearest first sign of open water is. And really, you'd be surprised how hard that can be if you don't have one of these to just get to here. And that may be the only time we need it today, but it sure does come in handy. We'll just slide it out of the way for now. Trolling motor down. Try to start out on number 1. And voila, just like that, we are on and in the water. So yeah, we're fishing. Oh wait, no, we don't have any rods. Let's get them out. Let's do the do. Uh-oh, I just saw one right there. You can make it out, hit top water. So here are our rod sleeves. So I usually lay my rods out in the just so they're easier to grab, either lightest to the heaviest action or vice versa, or whichever way you choose. But today I'm gonna go with the heaviest, furthest away from me, which is the Tequila Bacharach, then the Super Destroyer, then would be probably the Poison Adrena 611 medium plus, then the Blade, and then the Dex Pride. Got antsy. So I'm gonna start right off the bat just to see what kind of bite's going on. Kind of big, not top water. And these sleeves are actually cool. If you give them time, they kind of unwrap themselves and roll back up. But it's a good idea to, as you take them out, take your time, get them put up out of the way. Otherwise you end up with a huge mess. Like, what is that? See that little fish swimming right out there? Now I may jump right to a topwater bite. Hopefully it stays, I hope it stays cloudy all day, but I think the clouds are going to clear off after a while. So I'm going to try right off the bat with chatterbaits and maybe some whopper plopper type stuff. But the big blade on the Tequila Bacharach is usually hard to resist first off. Look at them fish jumping. See them hitting out there? So I could probably go topwater. Look at that. See that commotion going on? Even though I want to do the Chopo regular size whopper plopper, I should probably break out the, I'm going to do it on the lightest rod. Biggest fish possible on the lightest rod you have, which I don't have any of the BFS stuff out today. But this is our X Pride. I know, I just said to not do this. I know how I'm going to take my time. I've had all day. This, oh yeah, by the way, it is almost noon. Been storms all day, so the bite may be shut off, but we could catch the tail end of it, or who knows, the rain may have them fired up all day. But right off the bat, I'm going to get out that little whopper plopper, and I need to order an actual whopper plopper in this style, but in the perch. But after, and then also the hooks I thought maybe need change, but after watching the fish catches on this little thing, it seems like the hooks are pretty good. It's one of those, if you let the fish bite it, it pretty much catches him. Oh, did you see that? Dude, 2 hits. Maybe a popper bite too. Maybe a popper bite. One more whopper plopper cast. Oh, we already got gunked up. That's how shallow that is. That grass is like just below the surface. We already something. Just doesn't take much with the whopper plopper. See that? Just a little anything just shuts that blade down, and that's on any of them. The Chopo, the whopper plopper. They'll go a little bit out from there. Oh! Did you see that? Oh my God. Oh my God. All right, I'm abandoning ship on this. I'm gonna go with what I think, even over a whopper plopper bait. Just because I have this one handy right here. That's my favorite color, Mega Bass color that they have. This is little Pop X. That little Wakasaki. Look at how horrible them feathers look. I'm hoping once they get wet, they straighten out some, and I'll try to do what I can here. Got a little bit of rusty color going on. A little bit of bend in the hooks. I need to straighten that out. Take your time. All right, just straighten that hook out just a hair. But honestly believe this dude come on. You can tell me we're not going to catch a fish through there. One more cast and then we'll try something else. That cast just spooked out. No way, dude. No way. All right, my favorite color may be off. Let's go with let's try our new bait. That new little jackal thing makes a clicking noise. I have not done really anything great with it yet. Maybe this is the perfect time. I know they haven't heard this noise. You guys haven't heard it yet because they ain't making it right now. Just a little subtle clicky noise, or you can just pop it. Dude, I knew we're going to waste all the time here on topwater and we're not going to get nothing. Definitely not a walk the dog bait. Kind of just a subtle reel or plop. All right, one more cast with this. Try over there. There it goes. Hear that? There's the noise we wanted. Come on, right at the boat. Come on. Dude, topwater sucks. At least the whopper plopper was getting hit. Let's try the big whopper plopper. Let's not try it on this bait, on this rod though. Let's get our other stuff out. Let's settle down. Let's get everything out and then we'll try. All right, at some point I'm gonna tell you what my favorite rod and reel combo is, but I really can't pick a winner right at this moment. I guess I'll have to think about it more. But we've got our Blade Zillion combo. We may leave a chatterbait on it and then rig these others up on other stuff. Get a spinnerbait going, chatterbait. But definitely an awesome combo right here. And just because before I take that Z-Man Elite bluegill colored chatterbait off, I'll just throw it just in case it could get hit, since topwater's kind of up in the air. All right, well, we got it out. Then would be the Poison Adrenaline, which is still probably my favorite all-around versatile rod. It's hard to beat the versatility of that 611 medium plus. I'm wondering if the actual Megabass jerkbait rod 110 special is equivalent or close to this. I know the 110 stick is a smaller rod and wouldn't probably be as versatile as what this one is. But this thing can throw a lot of different stuff. So let's test out its versatility. Oh my God. By throwing a little Whopper Plopper 90. I should throw it on the X Pride, but this is just a little bit stiffer rod. Still a fun one to catch little fish on. So let's try the little Whopper Plopper 90. Even though the 75 is shorter, it still makes a bigger presence in the water, in my opinion. If you're wanting to throw like on the size of how they're seeing it, I think a 90 has a less presence in the water, a little more subtle. Something about that perch color though. Something about that perch color. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the perch color. We're going to go right back to that perch color because it was the only thing that actually got hit so far. If I could get it off of this hook, oh my dear Lord. If I had access to a box that would be invented to where each bait had their own little separate hole, so you didn't have to have the hooks tied up, you didn't have to have it tangled up with another one, would be awesome. So this little dude right here, let's try it right over here. Go over to that other side. If I get anything very big, it might be a nightmare. Okay. So far, oh, that's going to get hung up. That's going to get gunked up. Jesus. Now my trolling motor's gunked up. Let's restart this. Let's do this video over. Okay. Got untangled. Top water is being obnoxiously weird for me. That is our true jackhammer. This is the Super Destroyer with Steve's Limit. I guess I didn't even talk about the reels. I guess you guys know most of them are Steve's related or the Zillion, all Daiwa. That bait, there's something about those 3/8 ounce, whether they're the jackhammer or the Jackie hammers, the knockoffs. Just the way they dart triggers a hit from fish once you get that right color, but it's hard to knock that mini max also. So I'm probably going to break out a mini max, a couple spinner baits. Oh, that was a hit. Slow down. Floating grass out there too. Probably break out my black and blue gold blade, couple jigs. So yeah, let's get her going. Blade out with the Zillion. I'm just going to try a black and blue gold blade real quick. This is Poague Part 5, but the first time I come down here, this little dude was kind of kicking it, and then since then there's always been a better bait. But like now the conditions, I think the water is dirtier, less overall visibility period. Sometimes that darker color may kick back in, so I'm gonna try it. I got a fit. I was trying to shake him off. Had a little dink. Telling you guys, don't get me started on the color. If black and blue may be the only bait I throw today, chatterbait wise, color. So that quick. Need to check my line. I've been fishing 3 spots, 2 days of fishing with the same line, leader, knots, all that. I probably need to keep an eye on them today and switch them out when I'm done, kind of deal. But I will be getting the bluegilly colors just to try them. That white didn't seem right. All right, we got some floating, looks like grass right out in there somewhere. All right, black and blue. It was one-hit wonder, maybe. Come on, black and blue. You ain't never a one-hit wonder, are you? Get out there a little bit. No, I didn't think so. Oh! Let me check that hook. I got a way to sharpen it. Come on, blade. Don't let me down. I thought that felt like... Hook's pretty sharp. It could maybe use a touch. Let me just touch. I mean, it's not new. I mean, I don't know. Doesn't feel bad. Doesn't feel, it's not like brand new sharp either. Try that again. I've been debating about getting the only chatterbait that I've seen that you can actually buy already, black and blue gold blade, and that's the Strike King Thunder Cricket of all baits. But they're gold series. They've got that kind of bony colored one I like. It's kind of a white bone gold blade, and then the black and blue gold blade. But they're $13 each. Well, caught one, missed one. Had several hits. Let's switch to a different color real quick. Hang on, I'm trying to track down. So this should be the perfect time for a little 1/4 ounce. So I'm going to get one of our favorite little trailers for the bluegill ones anyway. That green pumpkin, purple and gold. Awesome color from Strike King. I'll put it on. I'm almost wondering if that profile isn't a little thick and big for this thing. Like it, basically this size on it makes it like what the Menace is on the other ones, which I feel is too big. I like the baby Rage Menace on a regular chatterbait, so I'm debating if I should start cutting maybe that dude down a little bit. I think that'll work, but I think a little thinner would let it even actually zig and zag around a little more, but that should be good. Let me double check my knot. Let's see. Got bugs on me. Let's see what we got here. This one will throw a little bit tougher, a little 1/4 ounce, but it should stay in the shallower water. Look at that. That looked like a frog jumping. That little fish was every time he hit the water, he jumped higher up just to try to stay, you know, away from whatever was after him. Oh, there's a little peck. They're definitely not like a real hard aggressive. That's what we're into now. As the bait fish, as they weed out everything that spawned, you'll get back into more traditional fishing. Like, in all honesty, you'd be better off to go true BFS right now. This is the time to go very small and dinky and all that. But I've done the years of BFS fishing, right? It's like, dude, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's also the time where giants can be had too. But your majority of your fish are chasing after those little bitty dinks like you just saw, jumping and carrying on. That's the little dink fest kind of bite that is everywhere, it seems like we go. That dude may be a little better. Oh yeah, that's a nice chunk on the blade. Whoa, can we boat flip him with the blade? Yeah. Well, they will hit the smaller chatterbaits though. That's a little 1/4 ounce mini max. Definitely a smaller little chunk than a regular, right? Let's get one shot of this. All right, got a pick, got a new phone. Awesome, right? You guys be seeing, I don't think I've done a live stream yet with it. Be curious to see how the footage is on it. But let's see if we got a jumper with this dog. Right? He was jumping around the boat a minute ago. Dude, they suck. They all suck this year. This year is the most horrible year I've had with jumpers. Probably one of the better years for big bass, which, so I'm not complaining. But for jumpers, horrible. So let's keep going. Keep checking our line. And remember, I've talked about
the definition of butt of a person or animal. Hit someone or something with the head or horn.
Phone, stop. It's a smartphone. I don't know what to say. Ah, Jesus. Come, getting in my pocket. So, double check your line, but the main one to double check when you've been fishing a little while is also this. If you run a leader, that's can be your downfall. So after this trip, I'm definitely gonna change it, but honestly, if I was a tournament type dude, I would you know, put new leader on every trip out, basically. That way you got a new knot, new, you know, at least, and only about 6 foot. I guess I might as well do a little preaching while I'm on it. So as I got bugs all over me. When I tie a leader, I've heard people talk about a lot of different ways. I run braid, and I've argued the braid over and over, but when you run a leader, and I'll show you as I reel it up. Now, it definitely pays if you have a T-wing system. You don't want a leader knot unless you're dealing with like under 10-pound tests to go in and out of these T-wings. They just don't work right. But when I run my leader, I want it to be from your eye here, before there. Somewhere in there, I want the knot to be, for a few reasons. So it gives you on, you know, 6-7 foot rod, it gives you that's how long your leader you want your leader to be, and that's how much line you usually want to cast with. If you want to be more accurate, go a little bit up, and that's why you'll see me do this sometimes, so I can be more accurate with that short. If I want length, distance, you can kind of do the pendulum type cast. Been doing it for years. People start putting names on it, think they invented something. Oh, what is that? Is that a beaver? See him? I know, I see squirrels and all that stuff. So anyway, but when you tie on a leader, that's why I recommend to have that knot. When you start out, have it go all the way to here. So just, if you have to even measure it on your rods, roughly, if you know how much of a line you use up tying a knot to here to there, then as you tie knots, it goes down. So actually, then when it ends up to here, that's a couple times you've redone that your snap or whatever on the end, or you could just retie baits or whatever, but I don't recommend to go up into here. And if you do, once your leader is, say, under 3 foot, just put a new one on. Like, don't mess around like in a period of a day or whatever, because then I feel that that's when you could have that knot start hindering fish seeing it, or, you know, just stuff go wrong. So I don't know, that's just my take on, I like to see that knot right in here when I'm casting. it gives it time, first of all, to shoot up, because sometimes you'll have, especially with BFS is where it really comes in handy. If that knot's like right here and you go to cast, it can just hesitate. Even with light line, it can make it just bind it up, so to speak, before it gets momentum going. And talk about bound up. But and that's the only downside, is like when you bring your bait all the way in, if that knot's like right up to the tip, you'll hear that meat clinking it. But you know, so when you're casting, as you let go, it gives that knot a little momentum, just a smooth sailing through those guides. Like that's actually 20-pound leader material on this one to 20-pound line. So, or this one may be 15. I can't even remember now. But yeah, let's get back to fishing. But only way I fish now, braid 2 leaders. You can argue, I've heard several people arguing, why do you mess with that cheap braid when you know that Suffix and Power Pro and all these companies have such good braid? I'm like, well, what's wrong with Hercules or Proveros if I can order a spool of it, put it on, and never, like, it doesn't give me any issues. It casts well, it lasts, it's cheaper. Like, I can, even if it only lasts half as long as that more expensive braid, it's like 3 or 4 times cheaper than the expensive braid. So, and usually you can tell when it fades. Like I got a couple of these, it fades down to a point, and it does. Braid tends to get that almost fuzzy. The first sign of a fuzzy look is when it's definitely a little bit weaker. But like me, I'm running like 20-pound braid. Used to be to a 15-pound leader or 20-pound. So I'm kind of doing that for a couple reasons. It's just easier to work with and manage, honestly. And then if I do, as it gets older, if it gets a nick in the braid, it's still as strong as what a 15-pound, 12-pound equivalency. That's all you really need for any of these, even big bass. Now, I've caught some giants on 10-pound tests. So as long as that leader and main line hold up to half their force, then you've got a fighting chance anyway. Now, if you got your drag crank crazy hard and you're yanking super hard, that's honestly where a hook set issue will come in. So yeah, I've done a lot of talking and not enough concentrated fishing to catch some fish. Let's catch some fish. Okay, I just went on a little spiel about braid, line. Let's just catch some fish. That may not even be a bass, but I think it is. First thought, I thought it was I cast so close to the bank, sometimes that's a bluegill. So yeah, back to Poague, back to Dinksville. But hey, Dinksville's fun. Compared to the last 2 days of fishing I've had, I'll take it. I will take Dinksville any day. Come on. I'll take a jumper though. Oh! He sort of jumped but splashed the heck out of me. All right, I'm getting ready to get serious. I'm getting ready to go big. I'm just curious if I could throw that whopper ploppers around here and catch some fish. It's just that, it's still that top watery kind of thing. Look at those fish jumping. Look at that. Got one. So you see that? Oh my God. Am I recording? I am recording. That dude, they are still just chasing them little bitty bait fish around, but they can't hardly resist that little bitty. I still like the big blade, but man, that little mini max up in there and that tight battling it out. That dude, 100% a jumper. That little 1/4 ounce one lets you just toss it up there. It's lighter bait. So that 3/8 mini max, good for a little out in deeper water, but that little 1/4 ounce, just get it right up. You can fish it in and around this real shallow, grassy area, just way better. I mean, you could get by if that's all you have. Or if you have the true, the cheap way to go is just with the true mini and micro chatterbaits are perfect for this. They don't work as well out once you get into a little deeper water. But so that lightweight, oh man, I keep getting dunked. So that grassy stuff is all over. It kind of looks like it's already dying off. But yeah, I like that color. That everything about the way that bait is made, and it just works. Thought I heard a fish hit the boat. Let's try back where that first. Go down, throw this wood, but I'm just gonna keep catching these for right now. This blade makes these little dinks fun. Like, well, that's not a little dink. That's a nice chunk. I start to call you a little dink. You're a good sized chunk. Let's get a quick measurement. I'm bad about measuring fish, just so you guys will know, and then we'll see if he'll jump. Probably not quite keeper status, and this board needs to be really put the other way for the way I measure. That dude is almost 15. It's like 14 and a half inches long, so almost keeper. What's 15 inches a keeper? I'm not even sure. I don't even worry about none of that stuff. In case one of you guys do. Come on. Look at him. Get out there and jump. Get. Oh man, they're just. I'm almost tired of wasting jumping time. You guys know what I mean? Because the bite is on. Oh, I'm gonna get these shorts on now. They got brand new pair of shorts. You guys see these brand new shorts? Kind of got them for work, but I figured I'd wear them fishing first. I like that color gray. Get it dirty. Still doesn't look. I got a darker color gray to really get dirty. But anyway, yeah, let's go. Let's catch some largemouth bass.